Hey everybody, it's that guy nobody likes. I'm going to do a little a very impromptu unboxing and first impression of the 1077 Tactical from Crosman. This is obviously a different variation on the 1077 that's been out for decades, and it's got more of a, military feel to it, as most of the air guns seem to be going to these days for some reason. And so I just want to make some comparisons between the new one and the old one. This is the first video that I've ever done regarding this, or trying to do a live video with no stops, no editing, so it's got to be terrible. But here we go. Obviously it says, the one thing that I noticed right off the bat is the 1077 is made in the United States of America. It has been, as far as I know, forever. It's one of the ones that has stayed here in manufacturing, and they've claimed to be moving a lot of their manufacturing back to the United States of America, but from what I can see, they're not, and I'm not going to make any give any opinion on that, but the fact of the matter is, this is made in China. I'm not going to give a big opinion on the box and stuff like that. I couldn't care less. Other than the box inside, I like those to be in good shape. Upside down, of course, as it would be. First thing I'm going to notice is on the website, and I'll read everything that they say on the website about this gun. But it says up to 780 feet per second, which we all know it's not going to do that with lead pellets without being modified. This on the box clearly says 720 feet per second. So that was a marketing deal there, I'm sure. Nothing real interesting to see on here. One thing I want to do is I've got my other 1077 here to compare. I want to see if the magazines will interchange. I can see that the magazine is different, but I don't know, it might still go in. Barrel looks pretty much the same. Let's quit talking and get it open here. Using my Benford 6100 box cutter here. Made in 7th month of 2023. Get this, just set the box down here. It's awkward for me because I'm trying to show as it gets unpackaged while I'm unpackaging it, so I'm not sure what you want to see, but there you go. My first holding impression is it's really well built and really nice, just right off the bat. They charge $50 more for this than the old 1077, the synthetic version. I have the wood version, which was more than this, so that's kind of cool. This actually holds 2 CO2s. Let me get into the cap here, and then I'll get into Crosman here and read the specs and the things that they say about it. It looks about the same. To me, it looks like it's not going to hold 2 CO2s. It's going to hold 1. I was really hyped, and as a matter of fact, one of the reasons that I bought this is because on the website and everywhere else it says that it's going to hold 2 CO2, which for me and the things that I do, I usually convert these. I'll convert this to HPA regardless, whether it's 1 or 2, I'll convert it to HPA. But if it has 2, usually it's pretty easy to just convert them to onboard bulk air. But from what I can see already, it's going to take 1. Let me set that like that for you. And then I'll read off the stuff on Crosman and what they say about this. The backyard comes to life with the 1077 Tactical Air Rifle. Its remastered tactical stock not only enhances its looks, but ensures a comfortable and secure grip, making it perfect for shooters of all levels. With a semi-automatic 12-shot pellet rotary magazine and a rifled steel barrel, it delivers rapid, accurate, and consistent shots. Plus, its multiple Picatinny rails allow for easy customization with accessories like optics, lights, and lasers. To top it off, the adjustable rear sight and fiber optic front sight improve accuracy, making target acquisition a breeze. Whether you're a beginner or an experienced shooter, this air rifle is the go-to choice for backyard and precision shooting. Durable water-resistant synthetic design with rifled steel barrel and 12-round pellet magazine, fueled by two 12-gram cartridges delivering up to 780 FPS. Again, we're about to find out, but I think that's not true. Compatible with 177 caliber pellets, crossbolt safety, elevation adjustable rear sight, the regular same ramp sight, fiber optic front that the other 1077 has. It obviously has a pick rail and another pick rail down here for a light or a laser or whatever you want to put on there. And that's going to be about it. 3.69 pounds. So it has a adjustable cheek piece. That's pretty cool. Let's see, it's got just two knobs. Pretty sweet. And then this little thing on a 1077, if you're not familiar with them at all, obviously this is to take the mag out. If you ever get a jam on these, which is pretty common on a 1077, mine never has, but if you do get a jam, you can slide this and it slides the barrel forward. It's a little plastic carriage that wraps around the barrel and slides it forward, and then when you get the jam out, slide it back. Go back to your operation. This looks cool. Looks to me like it's going to slide right into the old 1077, and we'll find out real quick. And this is going to be really cool for some people if we can get our hands on these separately, which I'm sure we can. So, and they obviously claim this is a semi-automatic, and so obviously you can just pull the trigger, pull the trigger, pull the trigger, and this has a lot better trigger blade than the other Crosman. I'll get that out in just a second. But the fact of the matter is, it's a dual action revolver on the inside. That's what it is. So it's probably going to have a pretty stiff trigger pull and all that, like the old one does. So let's get the CO2 out. Sorry for all the mess ups, but I'm not going to do a bunch of editing and cuts here. I'm just going to do this real quick. I know you guys want to see this gun because it's just come out. Christmas is coming up. People want to know what it looks like, what it's all about. So I'm trying to get one out and let you guys know. Got one Crosman CO2 here. I may or may not do some crony tests with this. I've had what I think is a bad batch of CO2s and they're just not giving me very good. It is going to take two. Looks like it is going to take two. So I'm going to get, oh no, it's not. No, one CO2. It does not take two like they claim. So anyone that was hoping to buy this based on the fact that it can carry two CO2s, because you want from a semi-automatic, the first thing I thought was, well, that'll be cool for the consumers because when you put two in there, you can get twice the amount of shots. And as a matter of fact, two usually gives you higher foot per second as well. So I got that ready to see if we can. There, just cracked. No leaks so far. Throw her on safety here. I'm going to get the other one out and we'll compare it real quick, and then maybe I can just go right to some crony tests with this. So far I like it, other than the fact that it's not two CO2s, which is a big deal, really. See if I get my other one out here. Hopefully everything's in frame. I don't know about the lighting, the high quality, the camera, I don't know any about that, but if this video goes alright and does half decent, let me leave that here for this one, then I will work on that stuff. So I appreciate you coming and visiting my video. just did it real quick. I literally set up a temporary table on sawhorses and a piece of plywood, and I'm sitting on my workout bench, and that's how this is going right now. So here's my the old 1077 wood, and I went ahead and reshaped the stock and made it more grippable, and everything's real nice on it, lacquered it up and stuff, so it's really nice. But it's identical in barrel. The barrel is exactly the same. I would think so. I think the receiver is just a little bit longer on the front on the tactical, and so it makes the barrel look a slight bit shorter compared to the body. But they're the same barrel, same barrel band. And then just to guarantee interchangeability on these clips, let's say somebody wants to build, if you wanted to take, now that we know there's really no advantage to this, if you wanted to take a synthetic 1077 and build yourself a little tactical gun out of it, these magazines would be really cool in it if they fit, so let's find out. Absolutely fits. Makes this look a lot more like a 1022, or this is a neat thing that's going on, because I know a lot of people like to make their 1077s look more realistic and stuff if you want to go out plinking with them, and this is going to be pretty cool for those guys. So you'll be able to do that. And then also another advantage to that is if you buy the tactical and you already have your old 1077, you'll be able to use your extra clips and mags and all of that, and it goes right in there. Ooh, now hang on. It doesn't. I don't see the difference yet. This is not latching in here. I'd have to actually see if it does work in there, so let me take that back and say I'm not sure yet. It looks to me like, if anything, the grips that pull them out, the toggles would have to be modified just a little bit for it to, it doesn't quite slam up in there. So they're very similar. They look exactly the same. The grips are at the same height. I just can't see why it wouldn't lock in. Anyway, I'm going to move past that, but there we got it. You got to slam it a little bit hard. It clicked in finally, so you can interchange them. This is going to be a little bit harder to get out based on that. Don't put your old 1077 clips into your new 1077 tactical. So that's what we figured out there. Cut. Okay, so there you go. It wasn't that hard to get back out. I just took a little pair of pliers and squeezed it harder, but you'd have to, if you wanted to use your old clips in here, you'd have to shave these toggles down just a little bit. Something about the receiver here doesn't let it go deep enough. But this one works fine, and the other 1077 looks really cool. So maybe let's get to some, put this away and get some crony tests going on here. We're going to have to take it with a grain of salt. Like I said, I don't really trust the CO2s. These are the last CO2s out of a 40 pack I got that I don't think they were performing as they usually do. So I'll do it, and if I don't think that we're even close to where we should be, then I'll get 2 more and we'll do a 2-part video. Alright, let's get it going. Alright, I'm set up for some crony testing with the 1077 Tactical. There were a couple things I noticed that I should mention when I'm doing an unboxing, I'm sure. And I want to try to get closer here for you and see if you can see it. Hopefully it's close enough for you to see. I have no idea. But it has a real nice butt pad on it. It shoulders well. It has a real short length of pull. That's what it is. It's toy. So, but it feels really well. And we're ready to do some carney testing. This is just going to be right beside me here. Obviously, this can be held in. You could shoot it like a pistol. It weighs 3 pounds. It's nothing. So I want to get a ways away from the carney, because otherwise you're just measuring the CO2 that comes out of your gun. (595.5 feet per second), and that's with a Crosman 7.9 grain hollow point. The pellets that most everybody grabs to use, and that's kind of what everybody does their testing based on, is those. 595.5 on the first shot. And these, you know, around 600 feet per second is normal for a 1077. 579.6 on the second shot. One thing I noticed is that the trigger cycle's a little bit better. It's obviously going to be the same, but simply the blade and the ergonomics of the trigger and the pistol grip gives you more leverage on the trigger, so that's a really nice thing. So that's a thumbs up on that. 584.3, and these are 12 round magazines. Maybe I mentioned that, maybe I didn't. So that's the third shot. I went ahead and loaded up another magazine, or another clip from another magazine, with alloy pellets so that we can see how fast it shoots those. I'll shoot a couple clips maybe with this, and yes, they're clips inside of this magazine, so that's what it is, and I don't care what you call either one of them. So here is, we're going to cut that out for the children. Shot number 4. And again, that's 586.5, so we're getting consistent already, and that's great. This is actually one of the most consistent, accurate platforms that Crosman has. It's not very powerful, but it is a really consistent, accurate gun, and they always have been. They're really, really fun too. I'm again going to mention, it's way easier to pull the trigger on this than it is on the other gun. I think that one landed in a box of motorcycle parts back there. So we're going to switch out, and we're going to go to the alloy pellets as well. I haven't set up my soft target in here, and it bounced off a piece of plastic. Not very safe, folks. 516. So we're, after the first 4 or 5 shots, we're dropping. Now we'll go ahead and empty her out. 473. And the reason I got it so far back and making it look stupid like this is because I'm on camera. I'm trying to just shoot this thing. There's no danger from recoil or anything like that. I'm just trying to get the number while I'm on camera. 455. They're going so slow that they're bouncing back at me and hitting me. So that's not the gun. What that is let me go back and tell you, I've had huge problems with this whole batch of CO2s that I got from Crosman. Pretty much the whole 40 pack was half full. I don't know how that goes and all that, but they were not full. They had about 4 or 5 shots in there, pretty much spent. So at least I got some. You do get a good, real close, because I have guns that I've compared 100 times, and I know that you get a real close foot per second off the first couple shots. So around 600 feet per second is what you're going to get with those. I'm going to go ahead and just release this CO2 because it's already half spent. You'll be able to see I just took 6 shots, and you'll hear how much CO2 escapes. And then I'll switch to the only other CO2 that I have left, thank goodness, out of that. And we'll switch over to the alloy. We're just going to cut this out. See, there was not hardly any CO2 left. The cap is a lot, I don't know if I'd say better, but more heavy duty. Yeah, it probably is better. It's heavier. That doesn't really matter though, because this gun is so light, and more weight out front is only going to make the gun more precise. So it is pretty nice. It gives you a lot better purchase on the knob than the regular 1077 knob does. Here's CO2 number 2, and we're gonna. You don't want to drop those too hard, because if you drop those super hard down in there and they puncture, it's a rocket. Okay. Although you want to be real careful about cross-threading these caps. They love to cross-thread. I seem to have to turn them upside down to get the best results. And get them pretty tight so you feel like it's going to break, and then try to do it fast. And by the time these are actually engineered so that when the foil on the cap is depressed, it's already sealed before it even punctures. So that's why you just barely hear a little air escape most of the time. Alright, so pull this clip out, pull this mag out, replace the clip. And I did just use the clip from my old 1077, so we know those are going to go right in, and I think everybody assumed that. Good to go. First shot with alloy pellets. These are Daisy flat nose 5.4 grain, I think, alloy pellets. Flat nose or wad cutter. I got 560 on that shot. I don't know what's going to happen here, but I don't like that. 553. I'm just going to report that the CO2s that I have right now just aren't good enough, because usually these would get closer to 700 and higher in a 1077. So other than what I think is faulty CO2s, so I'll be doing a part 2 of this, and I'll set it up this time better so that you can see the crony, and maybe the second video, just after me watching a video of myself choke, will be better. But here is this gun. It's pretty cool. At 130 bucks, I don't know, man. Personally, I would just buy the other 1077, but I know that most reviewers don't ever say stuff like that, and that they want Crosman to notice them, and they want to say, hey Crosman, look, I promoted your product and I told everybody it was a great thing to buy. I think this is an awesome gun. This is great. I don't think you'll be disappointed if you buy it. But for me personally, I don't think the extra $50 would be worth having a pistol grip, because it just isn't. If you're just a collector of guns and you just need to have them all, which I've been there too, then you gotta have this one. So Pyramid Air, probably gonna have it for 119, and that's because it's probably been bought twice by somebody else from them, and they put it back in the box and shipped it to you, because that's usually what I get from Pyramid Air, is secondhand stuff. But anyways, that's another deal entirely, just to add a little spice on the end here. That's gonna conclude my unboxing first impression for the 1077 Tactical from Crosman.